welcome. This is the NWFL in the Alliance Town Hall. I'm Jamie Loprice. I'm the CEO of the Alliance. So I'll be speaking quite a bit about the Alliance and who we are, what it is. We have David McCorkle from our team. David spent the first year of the Alliance actually as the commissioner of the Texas Fast Pitch League, and he now works full-time with the Alliance as our director of league operations. We have Joe Breer, who is the commissioner of the NWFL, as well as Chris Breer, who is Chris is the deputy commissioner of the NWFL, and very involved up there. And the organization have done a great job of assembling the team and launching the league up there. Also from our team, Shannon Harvey, who works both at the Alliance and the Pacific Coast League. And Shannon handles all things inside the business operations and registration. So any registration questions she will be able to answer. We have Andrew Biele, who's the CEO of Athletes Go Live, one of our key partners in this, who's actually going to speak specifically about AGL. And then we have Madison Crownover and Tony Boyd, who will talk about a new national championship event that we have. So with that, let's get started. All right, so here is the plan today. What we're going to cover, I'm going to go over a lot about, like I said, what the Alliance is, including our membership, the membership benefits, highlight a couple key partners of ours that's very influential for you as participants. And then we'll get specific into the Northwest Fast Pitch League and end it with the national championships and various events. So I wanted to start with this because we get questions all the time, and being one of our newest leagues, just kind of defining what is the Alliance? Is it just another sanctioning body? What is it? So we actually work with everybody on this slide. So when we launched the Alliance in 2020, it really was this idea of the teams coming together and not working in silos anymore, of actually coming together, competing on the field, but sharing our resources and working together off the field, all for the benefit of the players. So you've got USA Softball, that is actually a governing body, USSSA, sanctioning body, Triple Crown, event company, and I'll refer to the Alliance as this network of teams. So you'll see a bunch of different logos. There's many, many more that are members of the Alliance, but this is really, to me, this illustrates who we are and what makes us different. So we truly came together as heads of organizations, individual teams, small teams, big orgs, doesn't matter. The idea of all of our youth teams working together, creating these pathways for national championships, combining our resources, leveling the playing field on the field, where every team has an equal opportunity to earn a right to a national championship. And off the field, everyone's going to have access to our partners, and we'll highlight a couple keys to those. But really excited. We're a year and a half in. We competed our first national championship last year, and we're on pace to have more teams and more member benefits in season 2. So I think this is really important. I'm big on core values and making sure we're checking ourselves every single day and every single decision that we're doing, and putting the athlete first, I think, is most important. I'm a former athlete myself, and focusing on those girls and their development on and off the field is really who we're about as the Alliance Fast Pitch. So you're going to hear a lot of things about membership value, and what we can do for her on her journey throughout travel ball and prepping her for college. Everything from the resources to even the design of our national championship, and putting those athletes in atmospheres and experiences that's really going to propel them and prepare them for the next level. Coach development is huge. As we know, the importance of coaches in our game. So player development, coach development, and this idea of unity, actually working together and collaborating with each other, I think, is super important. That didn't exist for a long time in our sport. And so hopefully we're changing a culture and trying to work together with that. So this is how we operate as the Alliance Fast Pitch. What started as 6 member leagues last year has expanded to 8 with the addition of the Northwest Fast Pitch League, as well as the Atlantic Coast Fast Pitch League. So the idea behind the leagues was to create that regional play to where teams didn't have to travel as much if they didn't want to, creating competitive play and a point structure within our leagues, and also a pathway to national championships where you're earning your berths inside our leagues, and that will get you to a national championship, but also even combining resources within your league. So Just a quick highlight here with the addition of the Northwest Fast Pitch League, we've actually expanded into Canada as well. So if we've got anybody from the White Rock Renegades on here, super excited about what's going on across the border. And we'll talk a little bit about that too. So I want to paint the picture of membership. So when we talk about being a part of the Alliance and being a part of the Northwest Fast Pitch League, it's really about this membership. And anytime I think about membership, I think of access. I think of discounts. I think of a community and network. And that's really what we're about. That's what we go out and we work on your behalf of the teams. And we're providing all of our teams the same equal access and opportunities. We're doing community events or virtual events year round, where when you finish a tournament on Sunday, you don't just go home, right? Something's going to hit your inbox on Monday. You're a member of the Alliance. Recognition, we've made a strong point, and you'll see what we do with our player of the month. And anytime we can recognize a player, that's what we want to do, and continue to spotlight players from all across the country, and then a qualification process as well. So there's 3 tiers to our membership with the Alliance. It starts with the coach membership. And these are some different benefits that we have. We have the athlete membership and then ultimately a team membership. So coaches and athletes become members of the Alliance Fast Pitch, and teams will become members of one of our member leagues. So really the idea of membership is how can we help these athletes and coaches and teams in their journey throughout the year? So it's not just about playing an event. I think that's our culture for a lot of, whether it's sanctioning bodies, you're registering for one of those so you can play in events. Well, ours is really a membership. Think about, your club membership, or when you played in a rec league, you're becoming a member of the Alliance and of our league. So here's kind of an example of certain things that we have for coaches. And I'll talk a little bit more about this, as well as athletes and then teams. And this is continuing to grow as we want to continue to offer more opportunities. So there's a lot on this page, what's going on here. But this is kind of to illustrate the actual process of joining the Alliance. So it all starts with the coach. So if you're a coach and you're looking to register your team, you're going to go on, you'll create your coach account first, register for the Alliance Fast Pitch, and then you will create a team and register for the Northwest Fast Pitch League. Once you create your team, and this kind of gives you a step-by-step guide. If you go to our website, you hit login, this will take you through the process. Once you have paid your coach membership, you've registered your team, then you're going to invite all of your athletes to join the Alliance. And that's a really important process, as I'm going to get into what's really beneficial, I think, for the Alliance and how we engage our members. So this is some examples of how we've activated our partnerships for the athletes and different things that we're doing year round. So NCSA is our official recruiting partner. So they're always accessible. I think it's one of the biggest benefits. It's 50% off for all Alliance members. So you're getting a heck of a deal on any layer or level of recruiting that you want. But we're sending out videos, we're including recruiting tips and newsletters, making sure that you've got access to the best recruiting information, the most up to date as well, as it's always changing. We hosted a national throwing day, a throw like a girl day, which was a ton of fun with high level throwing. We had girls from all over the country and all different age groups, even some pro players and Olympians that submitted these videos of what it means to throw like a girl. And if you haven't checked out high level throwing and what they're doing with just the foundations of throwing and literally redefining what that looks like for young athletes, that's a member benefit for all of our athletes and coaches. Every week, if you're a member of the Alliance, if you're a coach, you're getting coach workouts sent to you. If you're an athlete, you're getting athlete workouts sent to you via our Famer app. So when you become a member of the Alliance, you automatically get a free account to our athlete or coach playbook. So if you can see this example right here, this is actually Tony Rico, longtime coach with the Firecrackers, who's demonstrating a drill. And so every week it'll be 1, 2, 3 different drill videos in a workout. And so what's really cool about that is you've got top coaches from across the country. We've got some professional athletes. We've got best in class information that we've put on one centralized hub and platform that you're going to have access to. This is just an example with recruiting videos of college bound jocks of what Alliance members get. These are benefits from our Visual Edge partnership, which every athlete that's in the Alliance gets a free baseline vision exam and evaluation. They'll get free PDF reports of what that means, how they stack up against other levels of youth players, college players, pro players, and then discounts on training. And this is a really fun webinar we did last year. And just again, something fun, connecting generations of athletes. And on our Black History Month last year, we had the different decades of Black athletes in softball, which was a lot of fun. This is ways to engage and compete off the field. We worked with Hit Tracks, and we actually combined some teams in different leagues, and we created this virtual tournament where the athletes were actually getting to interact. It was live streamed. Again, we were honoring top performers. This is a pilot program we did with Visual Edge. Same thing. We identified athletes from every league. We used Blast Motion for a national hitting competition. This was our Throw Like a Girl, and even activated a lot of our recruiting partners and hosted an entire what we called Recruit Week back in October when the recruiting window opened up. So always something going on. Again, that's the key to this annual membership, is we want to continue to educate and inform and utilize our partners in their areas of expertise. Same thing with coaches, whether it's recruiting webinars. This was a throwing webinar we did for coaches. Same thing like Recruit Week. We also did a Coach Week and utilized some of our different partners talking specifically to coaches. And this is a really good example of the Famer app and the workouts that you get. It's actually a former college teammate of mine, Texas A&M, that's doing some pitching drills. But every week, like I said, we've got hitting, fielding, every week, there are different drills that are put on there. All right. And I'm going to get in specifically. Let's see. Looks like we don't have Haley on. I just want to highlight a couple of our partnerships. I think one of the biggest ones is Under Armour. And so Under Armour, a billion-dollar global brand that is partnered with the Alliance in an effort to, one, highlight the female athlete, but to also offer teams discounts that they couldn't necessarily go out and get on their own. So just some, the idea behind the Under Armour partnership. Number one, they're the title sponsor of our All-Star game. So if you got a chance to check out our All-Star game from last year that was on ESPNU, all of the athletes, not only were they outfitted in Under Armour uniforms, but they went above and beyond and outfitted our female athletes with workout gear, shoes, bags, you name it. Those athletes got the red carpet treatment that I think female athletes deserve. So it was awesome to see this brand step up for female athletes. And we're excited to continue that partnership, but they're also working with you guys at the team level as well. So here's actually a glimpse of the All-Star game from last year. But this is really what the brand does. And they're obviously a key partner with the Alliance that you guys would have access to. The next one I want to highlight is NCSA. They're our exclusive partner in recruiting platform. So I know there's tons of information, some good, some bad out there in recruiting. We wanted to make sure that we brought you the best. And so we went out and partnered with NCSA, where all of our members, coaches, athletes, teams, they're all getting a discount to the services at NCSA. So this kind of gives an example. There's athlete benefits, coaches, and even for organizations. So if your organization is interested, it's a pretty hefty discount that you're getting just by being an Alliance team. And so it's just a great platform, again, connecting you, just helping with that burden of the recruiting process. And they're dialed in, and this is what they specialize in, is working with your student athletes and your teams. And with that, instead of me talking about them, I'm going to toss it over to Andrew Biele to talk about Athletes Go Live. And I know we get several questions. I think it's really cool that the CEO and founder of Athletes Go Live is joining us to talk specific about it, but also Andrew himself is a member of the Alliance and has coached in the Alliance. And so we're grateful to have him come on and answer questions and share some information with us. So Andrew, I'm going to let you go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for the intro. Yeah, like Jamie said, I have a passion for what you guys are doing. I've been coaching in fast pitch softball for 16 years. Some of you may know me from coaching with the East Cobb Bullets in Atlanta. Been coaching for quite some time. Both my daughters went through the East Cobb program. My youngest daughter is a senior at Duke University. So kind of really have an understanding and passion for the sport. Started Athletes Go Live back in 2018. And a big part of what we were trying to accomplish was similar to what the Alliance is trying to accomplish, which is, do something that's good for the athlete and give them something that I think is super helpful from an engagement with college coaches. So the ability to have college coaches be able to watch your games live and archived, I think is a huge advantage for the athletes out there and something that's really not out there in the space today. Let me just from the beginning here. So just to go over a couple things for some of you may or may not be super familiar with Athletes Go Live. It is a full-blown live scoring, live streaming platform. It's basically you can stream with any Apple or Android device for free. We do have a custom camera that we do sell. There is an option for the teams to get it for free, and I'll kind of walk through how that can work. The benefit of using our camera is that it's waterproof. It has an operating temperature of 150 degrees, so it can't overheat in the summer. We were in Oklahoma City. It was like 104 degrees, and we didn't have one single camera that week overheat. So it's designed for outdoor temperatures. It's also designed, if it's drizzling out, it's waterproof, dustproof, so you don't have to take it down. It sells on our website for $450, but like I said, there is an option for teams to get it for free. It is a full-blown live scoring system. So essentially you're putting one device on the fence to stream the game, and then from a separate device, you're scoring the game. We have almost 100 team and player stats today that kind of give you all the stat functionality that you need. From a team perspective, you can see stats from the mobile device, but you can also pull from the web-based account, you can pull down those stats in Excel. If your athletes use our product during their high school season, we are an official stat provider for Max Preps, so they can actually upload their stats. Teams can upload their stats to Max Preps, but all their game footage from high school would also load to that same account, so they have access to it. Why is it important to stream with AGL? Couple things. One, we've spent a lot of time working with the Alliance on creating a custom integration that allows us to have the scores and the stats and the standings automated within the Alliance system. So when you're scoring on Athletes Go Live and you end that game, we built a RESTful API that allows that data to automatically transfer, which does the standings, the points, and will also in 2022 have all the stats standings as well. This is something that their IT folks and our IT folks spent quite a bit of time building, but it is all custom specifically built for the Alliance. One of the things you'll notice in all the tournaments that we do, which is something else that I think is it creates a lot more fun at the events. We do have event leaderboards, which I'll show you some folks on the event leaderboards, but on the event leaderboards, we have everything from, the team leaders, as well as the individual stat leaders, as well as top 10 in every stat category for both pitching and hitting. At the tournaments that are Athletes Go Live events, all the player recognition Alliance events, it's all going to be all tournament teams, the player and pitcher of the tournament, player of the month, player of the year, player of the week. All that stuff is geared based on the statistical data that's being driven from Athletes Go Live to the Alliance. We also have top plays and highlight reels. For the tournaments, we're going to be doing top plays of the tournament, highlight reels, and I know the Alliance is going to have some other functionality as it relates to the video. And then within the app itself, the athletes have the capability, the fans and the athletes have the capability of going into the app, recording their clips, and the Alliance logo will show on the app, and you can actually send those clips directly to the Alliance Fastpitch for top plays of the week, top plays of the tournament. Athletes Go Live logos there as well, because we also have top plays of the week, top plays of the month, stuff like that. So it's all about giving player spotlights, player recognitions to kids out there. We also allow the kids to post their clips directly to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And because it's a mobile app, It's pretty intuitive for the kids. They don't have to log onto a computer to do it. They can do it directly from, from their mobile phone. Let me see here. So, apologize, but I'm going to skip down to here. Oops. Oh, missed a slide. Sorry about that. Mouse is not working. When a parent purchases a pass, we have two types of passes that are available. That's what I was trying to find. Here it is. Okay. Two types of passes. We have a basic pass and a premier pass. The basic pass is $16.99 a month, $179.99 a year. It's discounted obviously on the annual basis. The basic pass allows someone to watch a live game, watch an archive game. They can see their athlete stats, and they can also post clips to social media. The premier pass, they do get the athlete profile included with this, where college coaches, when college coaches watch the games live or archived, the athletes get notified which college coaches are watching. And we are actually in a process of integrating the game footage with NCSA, so your game footage could actually load directly to your NCSA accounts as well. We do have a team package where this $199 premier account is only $150 per player, and it also includes a free camera for the team, which is probably now turning into our most popular option for teams because the parents save money and the team also gets a free camera with this. On our athlete profile, they can obviously pull their clips. They can have their advanced measurements on here, and college coaches can access their game footage. Once we have the integration with NCSA, it will have the ability to have a direct link from NCS to your NCSA profile through here. Within the app for the athletes, when a parent has a premier account, the athletes get the ability to have access to college coaches, have access to colleges. They can actually email their video clips directly to the college coaches directly through the app. And the emails come directly from the athlete. They're not coming from Athletes Go Live. It actually grabs the mail client on their device. And then anytime a college coach watches a live game, an archive game, views their clips, the parent receives an email and the athlete receives an in-app notification that college coach watched. On the college information here, colleges coaches get free access to Athletes Go Live. We have over 2,700 softball coaches that have activated and set up their account with Athletes Go Live. The camp information here, if I have Baylor on my watch list, anytime Baylor posts a camp, I would get notified. So it's a great way for athletes to be notified about camp information as well. Here's just kind of showing you what the leaderboard looks like. The ability to see the team and player stats, all that stuff is on there, all the player recognition. We have an official scorekeeper program. So every single team that's registered with Athletes Go Live, whoever does the scorekeeping, whoever the person that's going to stream and score the games, we actually give them a free annual premier subscription. So when your teams register, we want to make sure that we get whoever that parent is that's doing your scoring and streaming for you, that we get them registered as an official scorekeeper for their team. We give them obviously some additional training as a scorekeeper to make sure they properly know how to score and stream their games. They receive access to an invite-only private Facebook group for just scorekeepers, just official scorekeepers, so they can communicate with each other. They see priority access on new features and updates that are coming out. And we typically have a quarterly call with basically my product and engineering team. And we invite the official scorekeepers so they can give us their feedback on feature functionality they want to add, feature functionality that, whether it's something they like or dislike or want added or want taken off. We value their feedback. A lot of the changes that we make come from the official scorekeepers on the scoring side in particular. This is the camera. Like I said, it's free with the team subscription. If not, you can purchase it on our website for $450. As you can see, this is kind of giving you an idea of some of the college coaches. Here's Hutch, literally sitting in her hot tub watching Athletes Go Live. So we do get a lot of engagements from college coaches utilizing the product. One of the best things to do for teams and athletes is every team has an AGL ID. That AGL ID is something that you can post on social media, something you can email the college coaches with your schedule, and it makes it very easy for the college coaches to find your team. And we do have a lot of video tutorials. We'll make sure that we get this out to everybody, but also we'll make sure that we have you guys out, both video tutorials for fans and athletes, the video tutorials for the teams, and also engage with getting the official scorekeepers for your teams registered. But we also even have a video for the college coach. So you as an athlete and a parent and a coach can see all the feature functionality that these college coaches are getting with our product. And like I said, we do not charge the college coaches. So that's all I have, Jamie.
And as you guys will see, and Andrew hit on it, but the big reason with AGL has been their ability to partner with us, where we can take stats from any game. No matter the sanction, event company, we can take these stats, start at the team level. We're working on all the player stats, and that just doesn't exist anywhere else. So it allows us a lot of opportunities, and that goes right into specific to how this will affect you as a team, specific to league play. So
okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Breer, and I am the commissioner of the Northwest Fastpitch League. And so I'm here to hopefully provide a point of view from the Northwest. I know we got into this relationship with the Alliance and all the different leadership in the leagues in the Alliance. You know, we had to decide like where's the value for the Northwest, and just sitting down having conversations with all the league leaders, it became apparent real early on that their goal was to do what's best for the athlete regardless of what part of the country they're in, and they want to make sure that each area of the country is taken care of and their needs are met throughout this process. So quickly, the next slide. As we partner with the Alliance and all the different partner leagues, I have to ask myself, because you know this is kind of a no-brainer for my organization that I run. It became simple to make that choice to be part of the Alliance for all the different benefits that Jamie shared and everybody else has shared. So I asked myself, okay, what are the misconceptions that are out there? And so I wanted to address those first. And I think the biggest thing that I think I hear from not only teams in the Northwest, but from around the country when we're talking about the Alliance is teams feel like they have to declare an allegiance to a single platform. And as Jamie clearly demonstrated, the Alliance is about partnership. It is about inclusion and transparency. So as a parent whose daughter has gone through this process before, I know the value for me in all the different platforms and organizations that provide opportunities in the softball world. I would want to take advantage of all of those. And I think the Alliance does a great job providing different opportunities to players that maybe some other organizations don't. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to, you know, choose one path, right? I would want to look at all the different organizations and do what's best for not only my teams, but my athletes and the entire organization. So just want to make sure that people don't feel like they have to draw a line in the sand. There's opportunities with the Alliance, regardless if you go 100% Alliance tournaments and events, you can choose to utilize multiple platforms for your athletes. One of the big things early on was also, I think because it's promoted, hey, the Alliance is really competitive. We see all the top teams from around the country that are part of the Alliance. So I think the fear of not being one of the top 96 teams in the country maybe scared some people off, you know, at the beginning, right? As the Alliance gets underway, you know, there's a lot of information that needs to be put out. That's why we're doing these town halls. At the end of the day, there's so many opportunities that Jamie has outlined and a lot of the other hosts here have outlined, including, you know, an open national championship that is available. And that's going to be discussed here later. It'll be hosted in Chattanooga. And so I just want to make sure that teams don't feel like, organizations don't feel like you have to be one of the top 96 teams in the country to benefit from a membership with the Alliance. And then the next one, you know, early on when we decided, hey, let's create this Northwest League and be part of this new wave in softball, I heard a lot that the Northwest can't support something like that. And I actually think the Alliance is exactly what the Northwest needs. With my personal experience of so many of the organizations in the Northwest, you know, we work in silos, and we're constantly following the softball world and so many of the other organizations that lead the events and determine where we go to play softball in the Northwest. Well, this is an opportunity to bring softball to the Northwest, to bring more competitive teams to the Northwest, to bring some recognition for our athletes to the Northwest and exposure on a national platform. And so rather than, you know, think that, hey, the Northwest that can't support a softball platform like this, I think we are the perfect candidate to be members of the Alliance, so our organizations can get more in their backyard rather than having to get on an airplane, you know, every weekend to play some high-level softball and to get some exposure from the college coaches. And then the budget impacts, I think you're going to see here in one of the slides coming up. The Alliance, being a member of the Alliance membership, it couldn't be more affordable, especially when you consider value and all the things that Jamie has outlined already in this presentation earlier. And so we'll touch on that a little bit more in another slide. And then I think, you know, the platform's changing to softball, where there are definitely more opportunities for different events. I think typically, you know, in the past, I know our organizations, we always said, okay, we outlined our schedules each year that, okay, we got to go this event, this event, this event. And to the point where sometimes those events have grown so big that you started losing value in them. Well, I think what the Alliance is starting to introduce is some new events, right? And some different opportunities for teams that maybe weren't part of the connected network that now can go to events and play some of the top teams and get on the fields with some of the top coaches. And I think that's changing in the softball world. And I think the Alliance is leading that effort. All right, Jamie. All right, here's some specifics about what's going on with the Northwest League at this point. So we do have 46 registered teams. Hopefully that continues to grow as the word gets out and people start to understand the memberships that come with the Alliance. The team membership fee, what we see right there is the 14, 16, and 18 U's, $200, and the 10 and 12 U's that are part of our junior program, that's $100. And then the player membership fees, you can see for the 14, 16, and 18, they're $50. And for the 10 and 12 U, that's $35. And just a note on that, when we talk about value, I know that so many of the softball players, we pay for individual instruction. And if you think about that $50 and just think about the Famer app that Jamie described earlier, there's more than $50 value just in the Famer app all by itself when you consider the instruction that so many of the softball players pay for. And then of course the coach's membership fee is $50 plus a background check. And some of the league contacts, we have more league contacts, but I didn't want to overdo this slide. But obviously myself, Joe Breer, and then Jordan Schilling is our administrator for the Northwest Fastpitch League. And then Erica Bean is our director of operations. And then you can see our email right there. So you can email us anytime. Obviously my number's all over the place. It's easy to find. But if you have any questions, or you need additional information, please use that email and we'll respond quickly. Just want to, dive into the player recognition, because this has been pretty much my favorite thing with the Alliance so far, as being part of the Alliance. Like I get the opportunity each week or each month, I should say, to send out an email to all of our member teams and say, hey, we're ready for Player of the Month nominations or Player Spotlight nominations. And so it's cool for me to be able to share that exposure and that recognition from players in the Northwest, right? And that gets out there. All the member leagues, they share this among all the leagues. So these players, they're recognized all over the country with a bunch of different organizations, and it's fun for them. I know I've gotten a lot of response from the families, especially from the younger, the junior program, and they're really excited about seeing their players Player of the Month. The families really start to buy into it. And then I guess the other piece, not only Player of the Month, which is kind of an athletic award. I love the Player Spotlight, because that can be more of, what have you done academically, or what are you doing for volunteer work? Like all of that stuff comes into play, and we think players should be recognized for things off the field as well. The all tournament teams, as we already discussed, and Jamie talked about the National All-Star teams as well. I think another cool thing is if you're not one of those players that gets recognized on a national platform, we can still recognize you from a league level. And I think that's rewarding in itself. And then again, we talked about all the statistical leaderboards. You know, that's not subjective, that's reality. And at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of college coaches that are going to take that information in. So strategic event partnerships, I think one of our biggest challenges in the Northwest is, you know, how do we create some events that are desirable enough that teams from outside of our territory want to come compete in our area. And so that's always been a challenge. As I mentioned earlier, you know, traveling is a commonplace for Northwest teams. So just some of the things that we're working on so far, and when we continue to evolve, we continue to think outside the box and be as creative as possible. But the first thing we did this last fall was we had an Alliance USA dual qualifier. And again, this is something when we talk about the Alliance and we're always looking to provide value to our teams, this qualifier, it had 4 berths up for grabs, 2 Alliance berths and 2 USA berths. So when you talk about getting bang for your buck, here was one tournament that there was going to be 4 teams at each age group that were awarded a national berth. So I thought that was pretty cool, and that was something different that I haven't seen happen, at least in the Northwest. The Canada Cup, you know, it used to be a real popular event. They're making some adjustments, but there's not a lot of tournaments throughout the U.S. And obviously this isn't in the U.S. either, but it's close to the Northwest. It's drivable for a lot of us. You know, it's an international competition. You get to see club teams from other parts of the world, and obviously the national teams, there's going to be at least a dozen national teams there, including the USA team this year. And then of course, you know, talking about, you know, how the Alliance leadership is you know, walking the walk when they're talking about supporting softball in our region. They added a AFCS berth at the 16 and 18U level for the Canada Cup. And that berth is not one of the berths that are awarded to the NWFL teams. That's an additional berth because again, they want to help support softball in the Northwest, and then of course it'd be Southwest Canada. And then the Valley Invite, you know, that's a Northwest Fastpitch and Alliance tournament as well. And it's rare that a tournament in the Northwest has, you know, 9 different states represented in Canada represented. So, you know, I've been in communications with the leadership of that tournament. And, you know, we think that has the potential to be, you know, a poor man's Colorado at some point if we really work hard and we're creative enough. And that's just another event where we should be able to draw a lot of college coaches and a lot of top level teams throughout the country to an event that's drivable for us. And then another one, we partnered with Legacy Sports. And the nice thing about Brian, who runs the Legacy Sports Group, is he has the fields that are out of Medford and Reading. So obviously Southern Oregon and Northern California. And I think for a lot of us, you know, anytime we get to play teams from outside of our region, that's attractive. And that location is perfect for Northern California teams as well as teams from the Northwest Fastpitch League area, right? It's drivable for all of us. And then that just is another opportunity to get some great competition from teams outside of the region. And then one of the events that we're working on right now, and thank you, David, for the name, is the Northwest Experience. We're really trying to, you know, it's tough for us in the Northwest to host an event during the 6-week recruiting window, obviously. So again, we have to think outside the box, and we have to work with local universities, you know, and so far, Coach Tart, University of Washington, and Coach Eri at Seattle U have been gracious enough to this year that they say, hey, we want to support the event this year that's coming up there. And so they're going to do whatever they can to help us kick off an event that's attractive to teams from other parts of the country, and hopefully bring some high-level softball to the Northwest. So look for that. Look for more information about that to come out soon. And then I just want to touch on the Alliance Fastpitch Open National again. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but like it says, it's a great opportunity for teams that like to plan their season early on and maybe are a little bit worried if they're the caliber to earn a spot in that top 96. It's going to be a great event. And again, it allows for teams to plan early in the process. And then this is just some of the NFL teams that have qualified so far. And I just want to touch on the 10U program real quick. You can look at the rest of them, but the 10U program, this is not currently a team right now. So I mentioned this idea to both Jamie and David and some of the other leadership, and you know, that at the 10U level, especially in the Northwest, there's not a lot of interest maybe in competing on a national level or traveling at that young of age. But we realize there is some interest, right? And there's some players and some families that want to get the process started earlier. So, you know, we put a call out to all of our teams that are part of the members that are part of the Northwest Fastpitch League now. And we say, hey, you know, whether it's your organization, my organization, or a collective effort, we want to see if we can't represent the Northwest with some 10U teams. And so we do have a tryout coming up here at the end of February. And hopefully, you know, we have a great turnout, and I think we are. I think the numbers are up already. And we're going to be able to send a couple of teams to the Alliance Championships, you know, at the 10U level to represent the Northwest. And it'll be more of an all-star type of feel to it. But you know what, if we don't have 10U teams that are currently in existence that want to put that effort together, then we'll help facilitate it. And so we can have some representation. And then just so here's the slide that just shows the bursts that are available. Obviously the 10U, at this point, we haven't had much interest. We have 3 10U teams so far in the Northwest. And like it says, none of them have really felt like they're wanting to make that trip this year. And so we haven't given any of those bursts out. So all 5 of those are available. At the 12U level, we've given out 2 bursts and there's 3 available. We have some events coming up that we'll talk about on the next slide. And same for the 14U. And then for the 16 and 18U, we've given out 3 bursts so far and we have 2 available. That asterisk, of course, is meaning that the Canada Cup will also have an additional berth that's available, but that'll be open to all Alliance teams nationally. And then just quickly, some of the events that are coming up. So we do have Medford at the end of this month. That is a qualifier at each age group. So Brian is excited about that, and he has some great competitions set up to go there. And April 30th and May 1st, the Sidewinder Invite, that's been a staple of our area for a long time. They're going to have a 16 and 18U berth awarded there. And then May 7th and 8th is the Acers Invite, and the Acers run one of the best tournaments every year for the young age group. It fills up really, really fast. I think this year they had to cut it off at 72 teams. So that's exciting. And we are going to award some berths at that age group, at the 10 through 14 age groups there. And then of course the Canada Cup, as I spoke about already. And then we did have one event. They've been having some, you know, I would just say they've had some problems with their leadership. And so we do have a berth at 10U, 12U, and 14U that is yet to be determined. And we will be working that out here in the next week or so. And Jamie, I'll let you speak to this a little bit if you're okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks, Joe. I'm sitting here listening, and I think it's so cool. This is why we need the Alliance, because nobody knows the Northwest like the people from the Northwest, and can speak on behalf of what your teams need, what your athletes need, and what the culture is. So when we got the email from Joe about wanting to create the Northwest Fastpitch League, we were really excited. And I did want to note, you mentioned that there were 46 teams in the NWFL. Just for reference, that's actually, I think you guys are 4th or you're 5th amongst the 8s in regards to registration, which is incredible. You know, you've been in existence for 6 months. So we're really excited about just the interest and the growth in the Northwest. What I wanted to show is, this is an example of our website. So when you go to the alliancefastpitch.com, you can actually access every single one of our leagues. And this is how you access the schedules and the tournament. So exactly what Joe just talked about, all of this is available on the NWFL website. And what I think is really cool is, this is what we're about over here on the event host. You don't see the NWFL hosting or the Alliance hosting. We are inclusive of different events, whether they're sanctioned, unsanctioned. We want to go get and partner with existing events out there. And then this is kind of how we explain, you know, is it a qualifier where you can get a berth, or is it a points event, or maybe it's just a stats opportunity? And obviously both of those rely on or go hand in hand with Athletes Go Live. And this one, what I think is really cool, and again, this is a big thing to do with our partnership with Athletes Go Live and why it's so important to score your games. So we just launched this team page back in November. So you can actually go onto the website. You can click on any space where you see a team, you can click on them. And this gives you a snapshot of that team's alliance history and their performance. So up here, every team starts at 1,600, and based on, it's the ELO rating system, based on your performance on the field, which I think is what matters, you're either going to go up or down. So if you're playing a tougher competition and you're losing, you still have an opportunity to go up. But the more you win, the higher you perform against better teams, your rating is going to go up. So you can see up here your league rank, as well as your national rank. So this is the Northwest Rampage, and they're second in the NWFL at the 18U level, and they're actually currently 30th at the Alliance level. And then if you click on the middle tab, it actually shows you the recent games. So if you want to go back and you want to look at a team's performance and how they did, who they played, and this will also give you a snapshot of their rating. And just to point out, we think it's really cool on the interleague play. So unfortunately, the Northwest Rampage doesn't have any points right now. For Alliance, power points is actually your interleague play and how you're performing against teams from other leagues as well. And then the third tab is actually the team roster. So when all your athletes are registered with the Alliance, this will pop up on your team page. The next generation of this is you're going to be able to click on a player and get her Alliance snapshot and history and all of her AGL stats, right, Andrew? So that's coming soon, ideally probably in the next season, but just excited to continue to expand there. And wanted to show you guys too, this is all Alliance teams, and you can sort these. So I went to NWFL teams. Also, if you become a NCSA team and you sign on with Team Edition, your Team Edition roster is accessible here too. So college coaches come on, or anybody comes on, they can actually access your NCSA as well. And if you're ever looking for an Alliance team ID or even your opponent's AGL ID, it's really easy to come in here, look at teams. You can search for a specific team as well. So just a cool function of all of our Alliance teams. All right, I'm going to toss it over to Dave McCorkle to talk about our national events.
How's everybody doing tonight? Last year, I don't know if you all followed Alliance last year, but last year we built, because I didn't come on until after the fact, but they built the entire national championships based off the NCAA. 64 teams all started in regional rounds, moved to super regional rounds, and then played in an Elite Eight. So this year we added leagues. Obviously there's more than 64 high quality teams in the country. Last year there was a tier 1 and a tier 2, and you had to determine which one you went. And if you didn't qualify here, then do you go there? So we've made some adjustments this year. The overall national championship for qualifying is 96 teams. So the 14, 16, 18s, especially 10s and 12s, if we get that many teams, but they'll start with 96 teams all playing in the regional round the first 2 days. Each team would play in a 6-team bracket, and you would need to be the top 2 in order to make it to the tier 1 super regional. You'd be 3rd and 4th to make it to the tier 2, and 5th and 6th to make it to the tier 3. When we were building this and we presented it, Joe made some great points. There's some teams from the Northwest that don't know where they stand. They love to go play and find out where they, fall into place, whether it be in the top or the bottom of the 96. And so basically, if you get through the regional round, no matter what, you start all over in wherever you're at. And so, and now everybody has a chance. If you're in the tier 2 championship, then now you're playing for a national championship at the tier 2 level. So we're excited about having 3 championship brackets there in the super regional round. Each of those will be played as a 4-team bracket, double elimination tournament. And the winner of that super regional round would move to the Elite Eight. And then once you get to the Elite Eight, that is played exactly like the Women's College World Series. If y'all weren't in Oklahoma City last year when the 16, 18s were there, college coaches were all over the place. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've never seen so many college coaches in one area watching the competition. And that was the biggest story from the college coaches, is the level of competition, the format, having to learn how to beat a team twice within a day or two. And, you know, just a lot of excitement there. So we're looking forward to that. You know, it's the same format. It's just expanded to 96 teams. If you see there, that's just an example of the regional round on the left. The first place team out of the winner's bracket will take the top seed out of that region. And then the winner of the loser's bracket would take the second seed out of that region. And everything will be seeded based off of ELO rankings. If you haven't looked into ELO rankings is nothing to do with opinions. It's all based off math. It's used all over the world for big time leagues. NCAA uses it for football. It's a lot of variables involved, and it's, you know, no personal opinion. We also do have a seeding committee that takes the ELO ratings and ends up taking a final seeding based on resume and rankings, and everybody will be seeded into the tournament, and everything off of that is based off seeding. Super regional is there on the right. That's just a 14 bracket, winner take all. Once you lose 2 games in the super regional, then you'd be done for your event. So everybody would be playing at least to the day 3 or 4. And then day 5 and 6 is the Elite 8. And again, you'll notice that is I built that exactly off the Women's College World Series. So that was a big hit last year. And a lot of the kids, especially in 18U going to college, get a little bit of experience playing in that format before they can get to college. So we're excited to expand at 96. We're lucky that we get to kind of make our own adjustmts and do what's best for the kids and the teams. And we'll do that. This year, 10s and 12s will be in Oklahoma City. And that tournament will be ran by USA Softball. If you didn't hear Jamie, we are not an event company. We leave it to the event companies to run the events. And so we just partner with them. 14U this year is in Southern California. Triple Crown will be running that event on August 1st through 7th. And the 16-18 is in Westfield, Kokomo, Indiana, at Grand Park. They have like 32 turf fields. It's a fantastic environment that we're excited to team up with the facilities there in USSSA to run that event. So, and then every year it'll rotate east. So next year, the 10U, 12U will go to Indianapolis, and then 16-18 will go to Southern California, and the 14s will go to Oklahoma City. So within 3 years, you know, all those events will be at Hall of Fame Stadium. Last year was exciting, getting to play the All-Star game and the finals and the championships at Hall of Fame Stadium. So exciting stuff there. Moving on to the All-Star game. That is part of the player experience we have for the 16-18 event is Under Armour went all out. If you haven't seen, you know, you've seen a couple of pictures here, but they don't even do it justice. It was like a Christmas for the kids. Is Under Armour, each kid got so much stuff. It was exciting. They really did represent the women well. And the game was fantastic. The best players in the country all playing on one field. It was exciting. So Jamie, anything you want to add into the All-Star game?
Yeah, actually, so every league will be represented. So our next phase, we announced our watch list in the fall. And so coming up in March, we're actually going to name all of our league all-star teams, and then final teams will be announced towards the end of May. But this was, it was incredible. It was a lot of fun. You can see Montana Fouts there. We got Aaliyah Andrews, Montana Fouts, Jocelyn Allo, Jada Coleman. We got a lot of the top college players to actually come in and coach that game. And this was on ESPNU. And so we plan to do it all over again. And you'll see up here too, of Northwest players are going to have the same opportunity that everybody else will. So this game is actually, that's
my 6-foot picture right there next to Montana. So Montana's pretty tall.
Oh geez. This game will be played July 24th, that Sunday, right before the championships.
And I'll add real quick before we get to the open is, you know, we're not built just for teams playing in national events. So, I mean, obviously from the Northwest, it may not be best for your team to go play in, you know, Oklahoma, Indianapolis, Chattanooga. And so, you know, we offer value to teams that may not even go to a national championship, but still want to help with development and, you know, getting kids advancing in the game. So, you know, I don't want it to be thought out as you have to play at a national event in order to take part and get value out of the Alliance. So, you know, we're excited to host some great national events, but as well, we're excited to the day-by-day business that we do to try to help kids.
Awesome. And with that, I'll introduce Madison and from the city of Chattanooga, who this is a brand new event. And we realized pretty quickly that we needed to open up some opportunities for teams. And as Joe mentioned, teams that want to go ahead and make their schedules. And the city of Chattanooga has been an incredible partner. They're very softball rich in their identity and excited for the show they're going to put on. So Madison, I'll let you talk more.
Hey guys, so I am going to be the event director for the Alliance Open Nationals in Chattanooga. We're really excited to work with the Alliance on this event, and just wanted to take a second for you to kind of see some faces of the event. So we have Maddie Adams. She's not on tonight. She's our marketing director. So when you see stuff posted on social media, that's her. We also have Jennifer Carden, who's our communications director. So I'm going to put some stuff in the chat here and shoot us any questions. Jennifer will be the one to kind of get back at you with those answers. And then I have our assistant tournament director here with me, Tony Boyd. He coached travel ball and has been involved with softball, specifically even national championships in Chattanooga for over 25 years. So I'm going to let him talk a little bit about that and his experience directly with Chattanooga.
Hello, everyone. Tony Boyd, and I have coached softball for a lot of years, which is not unique. A lot of y'all have done that. What I do bring to the table that's unique is I had a 34-year career with the Public Works Department in Chattanooga, who worked hand in hand with the Parks and Recreation departments, and they run multiple $million-dollar facilities. And so I got to see the inside of that. And those facilities would not have happened if the 7 mayors that I worked for, their administrations from one to the next backed youth sports, specifically youth softball. So which put Chattanooga on the map, and it put them at the top of events all over the country, of running events and knowing how to run events and having the facilities for them. Without that commitment from administrations, we wouldn't have been able to do that. So Connect Sports has put this team together in Chattanooga to ensure that Open Nationals is one that you will remember from a softball and a city perspective. And that's what we want everybody to experience.
So just to hit some specifics, Jamie have posted, there will be a really cool opening ceremonies that starts things off on the 26th. We'll have pool play, bracket play, and then we'll crown champions on July 31st. The parks, those are all the parks that we'll be using there. We've got a 12-field, 8-field, and 6-field complex. There's a really cool stadium there as well, which, talking about the layout for AFCS, I think it's cool to get to play in a stadium feel before you get to college, because it's kind of big. So it makes a difference to play in something like that. All of these sites are less than 20 minutes from the Chattanooga airport. There's direct flights into the Chattanooga airport. And then also we're less than 2 hours from Atlanta, Knoxville, and Nashville airports. And there is a ton of stuff to do here. Lots of good food. So lots of stuff to do once you get here, other than just play softball as well. But we would love to get any feedback that you guys have. Joe, especially if you hear anything from any of your teams, just let us know. The biggest thing is register now. There's something to be said. I know you hit on this a couple of times, Joe, for having your end of the year tournament secured. And if you go on to qualify for AFCS, we're able to kind of transfer that for you, that registration. So go ahead and get that year-end tournament registered for, set up and everything. And you can do that today. And I'm going to put that information in the chat, the registration link, tournament website, and my personal phone number, as well as our customer service email.
Before McCorkle jumps into Super Cup, just to add, and I appreciate Madison and Tony, the only requirement is to be registered with the Alliance. Otherwise, you can go ahead and like Madison said, now you can go ahead and book. And if you go to the event website, you can actually see we have teams registered already. So you can see kind of a start of who's coming. All right, McCorkle.
All right, another event that we have created that lasts entire year is the Alliance Super Cup. It's based off results at the Alliance Championships from last summer. In order to qualify for the Super Cup, you must have made it the top 16 or the top 5 in your league, or obviously the new leagues got invites to those events. And the Super Cup is played in 3 stages. Stage 1 is in the fall. We had a West, a Central, and an East, and they played 16 pools. In the top 4 from each pool advanced to stage 2. And then once in stage 2, only the West has been played. It's played in 14 brackets, but bottom line is 3 came out of the West, which is already advanced to the finals, and then the Central and East will have their stage 2 in June. And then stage 3, which is the finals, is the top 8 teams of each age group will play a top 8 single elimination little bracket, the front end of Colorado. So right in front of all the college coaches of Colorado on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and kind of the end all huge finals for that event. So we're excited to finish out that this year and then move into next year with a few adjustments to, even better that event. It just gives us kind of a year-long competition. If you get a chance, talk to some of the teams that played in the West stage 2. They're usually not playing competitive ball until middle of June. And, we were able to have some exposure, have some competition in the fall. And in January, it got to be a knockdown drag out, exciting softball there in California in January. So, again, still providing the exposure in the softball, high level softball, but now adding a little bit extra that, we can really see the efforts being made and the results really come into play of helping the game. So if you have any questions with Super Cup or any other events or anything to do with any of the league operations, I'll be glad to help.
Awesome. And just to close it out, I know that's a lot of information, and I want to hit on another point that McCorkle said is we ended with our national championships and key events, but really what the Alliance is, it's this annual support system. It's a network, it's a membership. A key is obviously competition, and we do focus on that. But even bigger than that is what we can provide these athletes on their journey. So what's next? And I highlighted actually something that's specific to the Northwest. We were really excited to have the White Rock Renegades join us, to add the Canada Cup. I think there's other international opportunities of where we can go and provide the same support system and network and define pathways for teams all across the world. We truly are one organization that is representative of the teams of the sport of fast pitch softball. And that's all we do. It's not multi-sport. It is all about fast pitch softball, which is fun for me, again, as a former player. But I get to wake up every day and just talk about softball and how we're going to grow it. If you see here, this was something really exciting that we did last year with Team Alliance. We were asked by USA Softball to put together a team to play USA Softball before they headed to the Olympics. So not only did we put together a team, but we actually beat them in one of the games. And it was a really fun experience to bring together some of these top college and professional players. In fact, I'm looking at a couple names that based on this, they were actually then invited to Team USA tryouts, and even a couple of them actually made Team USA as well. But we are looking at growing that.
Jimmy, I'll jump in there right quick. One of those players today, Jefferson, played for me. And obviously I'm very proud of her, but if it wasn't for Alliance, she wouldn't have the chance to really go into that next stage and play against the national team and catch that eye. And, I think she is 100% appreciative of Alliance and owes Alliance just a chance. I mean, obviously she plays for Texas and that does a lot, but it was a huge opportunity for her that she capitalized on.
Absolutely. And we are looking, there's going to be more opportunities where we're going to grow the college summer league and Team Alliance. So look for that announcement coming soon. We've got some big partnerships that people are recognizing what we're doing. And I think they're recognizing the why of why we're doing this as well, which is even more important to me. It truly is. I've been in this game for a long time at different levels, whether an athlete, a coach. I've worked for sanctioning bodies. And I think this is just a true collaborative effort of what we're trying to do for these athletes and for these coaches. And I do want to highlight Alpha. You'll see that coming out in a couple of weeks too. That's actually the nonprofit arm of the Alliance. And it is truly has been created and brought to life by former players with the support of the Alliance. But the goal there is to provide more access, more opportunities more resources so that we can get more girls playing this game and more girls staying in the game too. So more to come on Alpha, but super excited for what that's going to do for our sport as well. There's a lot of things. That's a lot of information. We do have contact information as well. Sorry, this is the plug here. If you haven't joined yet, please still do. It's a year round, so there's still plenty of opportunities. You're still going to get the entire year's worth of value coming up, but just go on our website, thealliancefastpitch.com. If you're a coach, register your team and get started in the process. If you have any specific questions, if you got league specific questions, or maybe you even want to get involved, maybe you host events and you want to be part of the league schedule. Maybe you're an umpire and you're looking to be a part of this. The league is going to be your first point of contact with Joe or with Jordan. If you've got general questions for the Alliance, you can contact Shannon, or if you've got anything in regards to our national events, then you can contact David. But before I open it up, Joe, anything that you want to add? Put you on the spot.
No, real quick, it's funny, you know, as I sit through these presentations, I know this information, and I just find myself continuing to get more excited as I sit here and listen to this presentation and all the things that we're doing. Like, I forget about half of them, and I'm part of the meetings on a weekly basis. And so I can't understand. I guess I can just tell everybody this, right? So the message is consistent, right? Like, each time we meet with the leaders of the Alliance and the leaders of so many of the top club organizations throughout the country, they never waver in their message. It's always about what else can we do for the players. And I've never been part of an organization that's so consistent, and so many of them are so selfless. And I'll just say this: you think about there's so many the top organizations in California that are part of the Alliance, and what David was talking about, the rotation of the national championships, right? So the national championship that was more often attended was right in their backyard year after year. And here these organizations they believe in this mission so much with the Alliance that they're willing to say, hey, we'll take our turn and travel. And so it's all exciting to me. It's all good stuff. And I haven't experienced anything negative in my time with the Alliance. So I'm proud to be part of it.
Follow that up, Jamie.
No, I'm going to drop the mic on that. That was perfect. And we are very excited for not only Joe to be leading this, but the entire team up there in the Northwest, and excited to see, I was looking at that Super Cup all tournament team, and I saw a Northwest player on there. I know we've had Northwest players as our Alliance National Player of the Month. So really excited. Selfishly, I'd like to get to Seattle and come visit too. So we're pumped to have this part of the country as a very important piece of the Alliance. If you guys have any questions, just make sure, Joe, I don't know, do you mind typing in the chat of the email address again that they can contact any specific questions with the Northwest? And if nobody has any questions, we are recording this. We can get that out too. We did record this, so we'll make sure that this goes out to everybody, and we would love to hear from you.